Obviously, each Supreme Court case is different. Each state legislative decision is a little bit different in, every scenario. You had the Alabama IVF that also happened.
Right.
But what I'm wondering is, let's focus on the Supreme Court. As you look at the arguments made and the questions asked in the Miffy-Prestone case, and as you look at the arguments made and the questions asked in the Idaho case, what has that told you about this court, and what does that tell you about what the state of abortion care will look like in a month or two when the court issues its decisions?
Right. So we don't know what the court's going to do, but we have certainly seen justices, including justices, for instance, that were behind the Dobbs decision, entertain questions that are very concerning, questions that come from an extremist perspective, that are not based on medical reality, that are not based on facts and evidence, and that are not based on the basic principles of women's health care. So we are seeing that, and it's highly concerning. What it means is that we can't take our reproductive health care access for granted. Dobbs showed us that, to the extent that there was any doubt. The Dobbs decision showed people that. But this says that this fight is going to go much further. And yesterday, to have to hear the Solicitor General of the United States, passionately and very competently defend a federal law that has been on the books since the 80s, that protects people who need emergency care. It's highly concerning. So I think, the fight is not going to be over. And regardless of what the Supreme Court does in these decisions, we are seeing such an influx, whether it is in state Supreme Courts, whether it is in other courts or in communities. We are seeing such an influx of attack. Nothing is going to be off limits. You've already seen the attacks on IVF. There are attacks on contraception. We have seen writings from Justice Thomas suggesting that he wants to reconsider contraception access altogether. And so I think that, what it tells us is this is an important issue that we all need to be paying attention to, and that we need to be using our lives and our tools that we have in order to bring about greater access.
When we think about the extremists on one side, the people who are bringing these cases to the court, you referenced everything's on the table, and there's something called Project 2025 that ties into all of this. What do our viewers need to know and understand about Project 2025?
Well, Project 2025 is an effort that I think around 70 organizations have joined, including organizations such as ones that have not supported women's reproductive health care access. It is bankrolled by the same moneyed interests that bankrolled the overturning of Roe v. Wade. And it is a plan that is being set forth and documented for how the federal government should operate, or how the extremists want to shape the federal government in a world where there is a presidency or a legislative session where there are people that do not support democracy. And so what we are seeing in that plan, which is about 900 pages, your viewers don't have to read it. You can go to democracyforward.org, and we have some resources to learn more about it. But where women's reproductive health care is concerned, we are seeing blatant attempts, really clear about the intent to roll back reproductive health care access more, to enforce Victorian era laws that would criminalize medication abortion, that would seek to criminalize potentially even, that would seek to criminalize this care. And so it's a very concerning